I've been following this case for about a year now, Jess, and for the first time we are hearing details from the prosecutor about why there wasn't enough evidence to charge Michael Russell with Lace Price's death, and we hear from Russell himself through a written report about whether he feels any remorse. With his back to them, 24-year-old Michael Russell from San Jose listened to Lace Price's family and a friend talk about the impact of his actions. The judge did not allow us to record Russell's sentencing, but they spoke to us outside, showing a mix of grief, anger, and forgiveness.
I understand how hard it must be for him also.
Yeah, I'm very angry. And I think he deserves my anger.
I wanted him to grasp the reality of the situation for the victims.
In November 2021, Price died inside Russell's Corralitos home. The coroner's office found a concoction of drugs, including fentanyl, in her system. Russell later pled no contest to 7 felony child sex abuse and narcotics charges related to Price and another minor. Looming over this case for months, concerns about why Russell wasn't criminally linked to Price's death.
That was completely on the sheriff's shoulders. Like, that is completely what they did. They didn't make it a crime scene. They took a 16-year-old girl out of a 23-year-old's bedroom and didn't investigate the scene. And we lost her phone and all of the drugs that were used.
For the first time publicly, an explanation from the prosecutor, Connor McCormick. He said in court, "I can understand that frustration and anger. Price was obtaining these street drugs from a number of different dealers, and we were unable to ascertain which person gave her the drug that caused her fatality. We don't have the evidence. I can see why everyone thinks it was Mr. Russell. We know he's a drug dealer. He gave Price drugs. We did not feel we could charge Mr. Russell with murder. I know you want accountability, but you also need the truth."
So they didn't have enough evidence, but they didn't even say why they didn't have enough evidence. And it just goes to show that, like, the justice system is always covering their tracks. Like, even if they screw up, they're not prosecuted for it.
After nearly a year and more than a dozen requests for comment, the Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office still refuses to talk with us about the case. As for Russell, his defense attorney said his client is remorseful. However, a recently filed probation report paints a different picture. It says last week Russell told an officer he had nothing to do with Price's death. He felt he is going to prison for being 3 years older than his girlfriend. He said, "It is not like I was a predator or a weirdo." If he could go back, the probation report states Russell said he would have ID checked the chick. He ended his statement to the officer saying he wishes he could say sorry to the family, but some things are out of his control.
In a situation like this, I don't believe there's any justice. And justice to me would be getting my sister back. And that obviously can't happen.
So I was there during his sentencing. Russell was emotionless. He had his back turned towards the family and Lace Price's friends the entire time. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, for which he'll likely serve 4 to 6. He also now has 2 strikes on his record and has to register as a sex offender. With the investigative unit, Candice Nguyen, NBC Bay Area News.